Yeah, you know what it is. This is gonna be an exciting show today. We going crazy. We going from 0 to 60 real fast. You know what I'm saying? Um, I have the opportunity to have one of my favorite people in probably in my life and in my journey of being an entrepreneur, somebody who's helped me like figure it out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times as men, we don't have what you would call like big brothers. Like not necessarily somebody who comes out of your mother like you did or out of your father like you did, but just somebody that you can pull up on and just pour your heart out to them. And they gonna give you some dope information. They gonna give you some good points. They gonna show you some things. They gonna give you that good guidance, that good wisdom. A lot of times people see things I do, they be like, bro, you got dope shirts, or you got a dope concept with this and that. I like your logo for your company. I like this and that. But what a lot of people don't know is there's like one man behind a lot of these things. You know, when I was trying to figure out the logo for my company and what I wanted to do, we was sitting around talking, and we was throwing out ideas and different viewpoints about a lot of different things. And the brother said, that reminds me of St. Maurice. And he was like, you should research St. Maurice. So then he gave me a book. I'm reading the book, and then we showing different stuff. And I get to his house a couple weeks later or something, and he showed me a picture. And on this picture, St. Maurice had this like, he had a dope, it was a dope picture. And I'm looking at this picture, and I'm like, whoa, look at this flag, and look at the bird that's on the flag. And I'm like, is that a falcon? Is that an eagle? Like, what is that? So I started researching more. And now people see the bird on my logo now, and when they see my logo, a lot of people associate it with a lot of different things, um, whether it be something from like Nazi Germany or something that looks like just crazy. But what they don't know is there was a black man named Saint Maurice that was in Germany or way back then, who's the one who even taught the Pope and taught people about putting on armor. He's the one that even taught people about being a knight, you know. And but anyways, the brothers who enlightened me about some of these things. Then I said, you know what? I want to make some clothes that represent my company, that represent what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. And he said, let's go in the garage. We went in the garage, and he had a whole setup. I'm like, bro, you never told me you had. He said, you never asked. I do a lot of different things. I'm more than just your counsel. I have things that I do myself. So he started printing my merch. This is like maybe like 2002. And he's just helped me grow, just grow. When I decided to go on the food journey, he took me on the food journey. His wife, when I first signed my deal and I was traveling and I was on tour and I'm ripping and running, his wife used to be like, bro, you look tired on the computer. I'm seeing your stuff. You don't look right here. Eat this. She'll send me a recipe or something. Cook this. Get this. And it's just like, you don't get to be around people like that too often. So I wanted to invite him into my world so that I can turn y'all onto my dope friends. I told y'all all my friends is like the Avengers. I got superhero friends. You feel me? So
We mutants.
yeah, so that being said, help me welcome to the FREEZ TV world, my man Naajee FX.
Yes, sir.
Bless King.
Bless it.
Thank you, King, for
thank
everything
you for
that you
having
do.
me. Yes, sir. Same way, man.
Yeah. Man, I wanted to bring you on the show because I want you to tell some people. I wanted you to tell your story. I wanted to ask you about your journey. I wanted to ask you, how did you become so enlightened? How did you become so, like, people tell me all the time, they ask me, they be like, bro, how do you overcome and keep going through stuff? But they don't know that it's people like you that I call and just,
Yeah.
you know, just cry and tell stuff, and I know that my secrets is safe.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's like give these people a rundown from the beginning. Like, where did you come from? Who are you?
We LA people.
Mm-hmm.
We from South Central LA. and we've been through a lot to get to where we are. But we always been rubbing elbows with a lot of famous people that you see on TV right now. Some of them lower in conscious, some of them higher in conscious. But if you're in the entertainment business, they still making it. I got my one brother here, grew up in LA with me. He lives in Egypt right now. Choreographer, number one music albums in Japan and everything. And we just had a lot of. They call them OGs right now, but we don't. We really don't like that term because it's got to deal with the gangster world. We got some real good fellas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got some fellas around that we rubbed elbows with. Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad. We had a brother just passed away a couple of days ago named Zayd, who ran the incense trade and everything in Los Angeles. We got Doc X. We got just a lot of different people from a lot of different school of thoughts as well. So we just didn't hang out with like the Rasta man or the Muslim or this, that, and the other. But at that time when we was coming up in the late 80s and 90s when hip hop was real big, we gravitated to like Islam and the Rasta movement. And we found that those were like the two most positive forms of the black man at that time. So that's all who we rubbed our elbows with, were those type of people. The women making us shampoo, cooking us food, showing us how to eat. And this isn't like this new era right now where you're in the vegan culture. We just called it ital. That's what they call it in Jamaica. It's ital, vital, like anything that's not in a carton. We was eating, taking herbs and all this, and we wasn't doing it because we was sick. We was doing this like right out of high school. And some of the music at that time, it pushed you to the dance floor because it was hip hop, like the real hip hop. But a lot of the music back then pushed you to the books too. So you may listen to a song to get some knowledge. Then you go find the book to get the wisdom, read the book. Now you got the understanding.
What are some songs that you've heard in your journey growing up that have like enlightened you or opened you up, made you want to go search some more information or learn more?
They got a few popular MCs out there that you would call the commercial cats. But we dealt with a crew called the Flavor Unit. So we knew Queen Latifah before y'all knew Queen Latifah. We knew Tretch before y'all. Mark the 45 King, he had another young brother in there, Lakim Shabazz, with just lyrics that make you go pick up a book. And while you're reading the book, you bobbing your head, listening to the music. And of course, you had like the Canes, the KRS-Ones, and different people like that. But those people were more of our friends. You know, my buddy over here, he's a choreographer. He's choreographed, been in videos, done world tours and everything just through hip hop. You know what I mean? And traveling the world, you can't act like a fool. You gotta be civilized.
Right.
So his road has been Islam. He's taken Islam as his road. Me, I'm a Rastafarian, a Rastafari. Same road, just different. In fact, it's not different. It's like peanut butter. You got Jif and you got Skippy. You take the paper off the jar, you still got peanut butter. You know what I mean? We pro-life. We really pro-black and just anti-oppression. We want unity for everybody, black, white, yellow, brown. But the position that we've been in for a while, we want to uplift us and start kind of showing our jewels. All of us can't dunk the ball. All of us can't write. All of us can't dance. But if we got different things going on and put them together, that's what you call a team. Like my mom always told me, everybody can't be on FREEZ. You know what I mean? So the journey through LA, me and my partner was just talking about it early. We went to school with the likes of Lena Horne, granddaughter. We went to school with May Ali. Used to go to Muhammad Ali's house party and have fun and all types of stuff like that. We used to go to Jim Brown's house, the famous running back for the Cleveland Browns. And that's back then in early hip hop when you had Big Daddy Kane. You also had some of the major gang leaders in LA going up in Beverly Hills to hang out with Jim Brown to just get knowledge on how to move through this industry without always being like a coon or selling yourself out, especially us being dancers. We've been kicked off the Michael Jackson video, Remember the Time, for smoking weed, and weed's legal now. Sinbad did that shit. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. We gotta bring the king. We gotta bring the king into the interview, man. This brother right here, we keep alluding to and we keep speaking in the conversation because it's a real brotherhood, but it's real genuine, man. This is another one of my big brothers. Another one of my big brothers who travels the world, and he comes back and he inspires me. He talks to me about what it was like in Bahrain, what it was like in China, what it was like in Taiwan, what it was like in just all of these places. And hip hop is one of the things that has been like the catalyst or the conduit. That's the word. Hip hop has been the conduit that has allowed him to take this journey. So let's bring him into this interview too, Naajee.
Yeah, like, bring him in.
Let's bring him in. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people more about you, because your story is so fascinating that every time you come out here and we speak, I take jewels. Every time I take jewels.
I'm what some people call me. I'm known as, my Islamic name is Kareem, but I'm Craig E. I'm with the Soul Brothers. That was the name of my crew. I'm from the dance crew. Our crew was one of the originators of hip hop, what's known as hip hop dancing. Today, we didn't call it hip hop dancing, but they call it hip hop dancing now. So we're the originators of that. And I've been dancing professionally since 1987 when I first got on Soul Train. And I've worked with everybody from Michael Jackson to Dre to Snoop,
MC
Trouble, Black Eyed Peas, Easy, Pac,
Too
Short, many artists that we know, because we came up in hip hop. We came up before it was like even really called hip hop, you know? We came up in that era. So there it is.
Man, that's deep. What would you consider yourself? Not just a dancer, but more so like a connoisseur of life, like a fine traveler, a world traveler, like outside of just dancing and being a part of the hip hop world. You've also just went on your own sabbatical. You just hit about 5, 6, 7, 8 countries. Like,
see, I never look at it from a perspective of I'm going to this country or this country. I look at it always like I'm going to work. That's always my mentality. I'm going to like work. Yeah, I'm working in Taiwan, I'm working in China, but it's still work at the end of the day. You still get paid, and you still give them a piece of what hip hop is. Because on the global scale, see, in America, back in the 80s and 90s, hip hop was still pure. It was still like pure. It was still, you had only few rappers that even had dancers. It was still a pure thing. And then, of course, when the corporations got more into it, then it got more polluted and diluted. But on the globe, what they did was they might have polluted it and diluted it in America, but they really, the seed sprouted all over the world. So you have hip hop rappers, dancers, all over the world. It's when I'm in India, and I was in India and I did 2 tours in India. I was there. Each time I went on 3 tours. each time I went there, I stayed there for a month. And India is a real old country because I like India, it's cool, but it's just, it is a real third world country. You know what I'm saying? Now, we all from the hood. So we seen roaches before, you know what I'm saying? We seen rats, and we seen. That's a good thing about being from the hood too. Cause if you grow up from the hood, you kind of prepare for almost anything in the world could throw at you, you know what I'm saying? You done seen niggas get knocked out, rats. I mean, I lived in New York and Philly, you know. So, but out there it's real third world. The kids, the young generation, India has a big young population. And they want to be like, they're trying to be themselves. They're trying to be free. They're trying to like be themselves. Like how we was, but our parents let us do it. Even though I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, I grew up Christian, very strict. And when I got on Soul Train, of course, my mom didn't want me to dance on Soul Train. You know what I mean? But I did it anyway. But they want to be like themselves because they have a real, India has a lot of cultures. A lot of cultures in one place. We got to remember, it's a lot of different cultures. India borders Nepal and China. So if you go to the north part of India, they look like they're the descendants of Genghis Khan. You know what I'm saying? They look like Genghis Khan. They look like his descendants. But they're still Indian. But if you go to other parts of India, they darker than these pants.
Yeah.
Them brothers is black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You be like, man, them brothers is some brothers. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but that's how diverse India is. All of the, you know. And then with all that diversity, you have all these different tribes and this tribe and like this tribe. You have like all these different things going on. You understand what I'm trying to say? But the kids, they want to be. That's for their parents. The kids want to be hip hop. So when I was going to all these, like I'm talking about, I was going to cities, man, that took 8 hours to get there. You would see monkeys on the way over. You know what I mean? You take 8 hours to drive there. I was kind of mad at the organizer. Like, dude, you didn't tell me it was gonna take 8 hours to get. You know what I mean? It already took me 16 hours to get here. You know what I mean? I got another 8. But and then when you get, you know what I mean? Then when you get over there, and you do the class, you see how much it be a lot of kids, and you see how much they love hip hop. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they really love it, and then it makes you feel like, wow, like I'm representing it. Like this is what it is. You know what I mean? And I would ask them. We would do the class. When I do a dance class, I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm really not even interested in doing the dance class. To be perfectly honest with you, because I didn't get into dance to do classes. I got to do because I want a boogie. Period. You know what I'm saying? You want me to teach you how to boogie? That's like totally ludicrous to me. You don't know how to dance, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? How can I teach you how to dance? I can teach you some moves, but I can't. I tell them. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, I can teach you some moves, but there's no way I'm gonna teach you. No one can teach you how to dance. Yeah. You get the dude you think is the best choreographer in the world, and he will not teach you how to dance. That's just something you feel. Yeah. It goes back to music. Like I was like, the music makes me dance. I don't listen to music every day. I might go weeks, I don't listen to no music. I might listen to the Quran most of the time. I listen to, and then one day I'll just put it on and just enjoy. And it's all feeling, man. Hip hop is feeling, life is feeling. You can't do the same thing every day. No one thinks the same every day. You gotta be different. So that's my energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they would ask me in India, they would be like, how can I be a good dancer? They'd be like, CMack, how can I be a better dancer? I say, go home and tell your mom you love her and take out the trash. So they'd be like, what? How does I gotta do anything? Because it's like you're making it seem like I put on this dance jacket, like it's a uniform. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Yeah. Like I'm just, Like, I get ready to do dance class, I'll smoke, get myself, ready up because the music is, so I'm playing all, Dilla, Flavor Unit. I'm just hitting, I'm going in. I'm just enjoying. I'm enjoying. So they're gonna enjoy. And then after the class, they'd be like, CMack. I'm like, who, you know who this is? And I'm playing like, Big L, you know what I'm saying? I'm going in, you know what I mean? I don't know who is this? I don't know. And I was like, man, you guys, who Grandmaster Flash is? No. You know who Melly Mel is? No. What do you know about hip hop? I saw this YouTube and I was teaching learning class. I said, nah, man. And I was living in Malaysia at the time. So I went back to Malaysia and I said, man, you know what? A lot of OGs, they complain, right? For the new generation. They complain. They're like, man, they don't know nothing about hip hop, nothing about. And that's true. That's true. And you really don't have an excuse because we live in technology. So you can just Google everything and you can find everything on Google. So when I got back to Malaysia, I was like, man, you know what? I got tired of asking a whole bunch of questions. Like, music is the key. If you don't know music, if you don't know the music, you're never gonna ever understand the dance. It's the music that makes the dance. Without the music, there is no dance. To me, without music, there is no dance. To me, I can't create, and I have real good music. And I was trying to embed it in them. So when I got back to Malaysia, I wrote a book. I just wrote a book and it's for sale. And I got a book deal in Dubai coming out this year, later on this year. And I wrote the book, man, and I wrote the book so quickly. I never wrote a book in my life. And I wrote the book so fast because it's not a big, thick book. It's kind of like, I call it, it's called, Kareem Evans, it's called Hip Hop 101, The Elements. And this is like, who started the DJing? Who was the first DJs? Who started hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Who's the first graffiti artist? Why is it called graffiti? Where is it from? You know what I mean? And it's like, and I just put it out and I sold it. I sold a lot of them in India. Now, I did it really for the Indian people because I felt like, don't take black culture, like hip hop as well as jazz and all other music that comes from America. It's black people music from here. It's our music. We made that up. That came from us. And sometimes they disconnect us. Look at the awards they just had. The BET awards or some awards so they just had. These Korean boys won. JBL, some Korean group. Yeah. I was in Korea. I was in Seoul. I've been in Seoul and Busan a couple of times teaching class. And they love black people. The whole style is based on our style. Their whole style. In Japan, same thing. Japan, they got J-rap, J-this, J-hip-hop, all this J this, J that. I said, man, why y'all put J in front of it? It's ours. You taking it? Yeah. The J means it's yours now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you put the J in front of it, it's yours now? So they we can't, a lot of times I see, we everywhere in the world, people love the music, love black culture, everywhere. Everybody mimic us, be like us, talk like us. If you're, man, it's like ridiculous. But here in America, we don't love ourselves. And we don't respect the art. You understand what I'm saying? And if you go to Japan or Taiwan or Vietnam, in these countries, they respect the art, man. Respect it. I was in Japan and this was in 2000. I went to Japan with the Lockers, with Penguin, Rerun, and Camelot Jr. took me to Japan. That's what took me. We're gonna take you to Japan. We're gonna introduce the Soul Brothers. And I did out there, man. I was like a superstar. And when I did a class, it was packed. Bro, I did a class out there, bro. And I did a class. It was my class. And I walk in and do the class, and I hear Def Jam, do it. You know what I'm saying? Dropping rise on drums. And I was like, you know what I mean? Like, they're dancing from our video. Like, they're doing our stuff. And I was just like, it just bugged me out. And you know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, like this is like ridiculous. And I go and I do a class, and I'm at one of my student, she invites me to her house. So I said I go to her house, whatever. And she gets a little Japanese house. And she's like, we're about to go out. So she has all these, she loves dance, and she just took my class. So she has all these dance books. So I pick up one of the dance books, and I open something about West Coast dancing or something. So I pick up the book, just random, because they're West Coast. I pick up the book and I open it up, and it's like, West Coast pioneers, the Soul Brothers, created housing styles there. Like, it is all like in Japanese and English.
Yeah.
And I was like, we never created a housing style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what the book said. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whoever wrote the book. But is this, when you go overseas, you see how much you've inspired people. And I think that's why a lot of artists, a lot of artists that come from America, just like my man he was just talking about Ice-T, Whip and all them. Syndicate. He from Syndicate. I forget his Donald D. Donald D live in Italy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of cats. He hit me up the other day. A lot of cats that OG cats moved to other, got a couple of my cats living in Japan. I lived in Japan for a whole year. I just couldn't deal with it after a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I need variety. I just can't walk outside and say the same. Yeah, I mean you're seeing different. They're Japanese. It's like you'll see like a Hispanic too. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, another random like culture. Like everybody's Japanese. Everybody's like one thing. It's like everybody wore gray today. You might wear your gray might be a little bit different from my gray, but we still got on gray. That's how it is in Japan. So I only could deal with it for a year.
And but see, a lot of what you saying is the reason why I wanted to bring you into the conversation, is because to tie it all together, that's what this conversation started with, is inspiration. And it's the OGs, it's the people like you, it's the people like Naajee, it's the people, and there's so many more guys who have been like inspirational in so many of our lives. But I don't think we take out the time to really connect on a bigger level to where that inspiration can be passed on. Like, there's a saying that I like to say where I say, like, you've made so many deposits in my life that beans can make a withdrawal.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the level, and I think that that's the level, and I think that as a brotherhood, I think that that's where we all like take from our experiences and the things that inspire us to do these great things. Like the brother just said, he just pick up a book, and when he pick up a book, he open a book, and it's like, and he like, man, I didn't even know I inspired whoever it was that wrote this book, but they wrote the book.
Get in the book.
Yeah, but they wrote it. So you never know who's watching. You never know who you're touching, who you're connecting with. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's dope, man. Like, I thank you for being that in my life. I thank you for being that in not only my life, but so many other people who you've been able to inspire throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's real dope. Real dope.
I never told myself I'm gonna be a dancer. I'm gonna go all over the world. I never once in my life said that. It just happened. That's how I know life just happens. I think when you say I'm gonna do this, then that's the wrong way to go. Just find it.
Yeah, because we've been in certain situations where if you did tell somebody, they wouldn't even believe the story. Mm-hmm. We was on stage with James Brown, a few hours after he got out of jail. Mm-hmm. We was on stage with Nelson Mandela when they released him from prison. Mm-hmm. It's a whole bunch of different experiences that, not saying you had to be there to enjoy it, but it's some Kodak moments, some stuff for the yearbook for sure.
I mean, we danced at the Coliseum, Farrakhan. We did a show from Farrakhan spoke at the Coliseum, and I came downstairs, Rakim was right there. I just got for this dance off his song. Like you said, the Nelson Mandela thing. After the Nelson Mandela thing, we did the same show at the Universal Amphitheater in front of the mayor and all the, you know what I'm saying, Tom Bradley was when he was still mayor, like, you know. So it's like you said, it's sometimes when you're living it, you don't really review it. And sometimes you have to review it.
You know what's crazy that you say that? Because one of the main things that me and my kids and some of the people around here that we've been talking about for probably the last 2 weeks is living in the moment.
Yeah.
And understanding the moment.
Yeah.
Like really, like I think in my own personal opinion, I think the thing that separates like great from good is understanding the moment. Like the other day, my daughter had a basketball game. And in her game, they was up by like 11 points. And then I look up and they was down by 2 points with 25 seconds left. And they call a timeout. And when they called a timeout, I had a vision. And I said, wow, they just set this up for my daughter to hit the game-winning shot. Like it's set up. I know what kind of play they gonna run. I know what they gonna run. I know what they gonna do. Like I saw it already. God gave me that insight. So I'm on live on my phone. I said, look, they just set it up. They about to run this play. They gonna do this and that. My daughter gonna come around and hit the shot. We going home. Game. So they game starts back. They ran the exact play that I saw in my mind. My daughter come around. She get the ball. She didn't take the shot. And so the lesson was on the ride home that night was not living in the moment and not taking your shot. And that, to build on that, what we was just speaking on, how like I've done a lot of traveling. I played basketball. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I didn't never really live in the moment, you know. And sometimes I think that that's the biggest mistake, because we be I was talking to somebody. I was talking to you. You see what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, back to the beginning of this conversation when I was talking about how people ask me, how do you stay so grounded, or how do you still fight through whatever? But the other day I was talking to Naajee. We was having a conversation and Naajee said, what's the most important thing that anyone could ever get? And I'm sitting there, I'm pondering, I'm thinking like, what? And he was like, a present. Whatever it may be, a person just want a present. And he built on that word present. And it took me to what the concept of this whole series is about living in your present. And he tied the words together and living in your present, because the most precious gift that you have is now. Is your present. The present. And we was in this show, the whole basis of this show is, in life, today is gonna be two things. It's gonna be tomorrow, and today is also gonna be yesterday. So when you move to your tomorrow, it's gonna be determined by what you did yesterday. And them two places that you gonna think about and visit is all predicated on what you do in the present. And it's just crazy. So these type of conversations that we be having and this type of building, this is just like, it's next level. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just to be able to invite people in to let them hear one of these type of conversations. Yeah. And before we move on to the next phase of this conversation, I want this brother to build on what you were saying just a minute ago when you were speaking about how you've traveled all over, done so much, but you was just so focused on work that you didn't really capture the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's I captured a lot when I brought my kids with me on tour, and I brought the wife with me on tour. You know what I'm saying? Touring out Japan, and you get a chance to enjoy it. That's a real blessing I have. When I was brought the girls to Jordan and rode the camels to the Dead Sea and just go to Petra. Those are things you always cherish. Shoot my video at Petra. I shot a video at Petra, and that's like, but sometimes you don't really enjoy the present until you get into you start to go more into the future. Like maybe those times when you were in a certain place or a certain time, it becomes a memory, and that is a good memory. You know what I mean? Because you'll never enjoy the present forever, because every second becomes the past. You feel what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more about like when you get once you because eventually everybody settles down. I mean, eventually everybody, even if talking about present, no matter what, everybody's gonna die. I mean, that's no matter what your final goal. So you should prepare for that like you prepare for everything else.
Man, you can't tell people to be preparing for death. People don't want to die. They scared. People, Brother Robert Muhammad had a CD that I used to ride around and bump.
Mm.
And on the CD, he used to say, everybody wants to go to heaven, but ain't nobody willing to die to go to heaven.
Right.
And I used to just be, man, I love Brother Robert Muhammad. His CDs, he got a CD, he said, you got to be willing to die in who you are in order to become what God intends for you to be.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that brother's heavy.
If you're born, once you're born, the reality to people should be one day I'm going to die, because everything that's living dies. So, to me, it's funny how people can prepare to get up and go to work and put on makeup and do whatever you do to go to work, but you don't prepare for death, which is your final destination. You can die on the way to work. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it's like...
But see, people don't prepare for death. That's why they say it's untimely. Yeah. They say he had an untimely death, or they'll say death sneaks up at the night like a thief. They have all of these slick words that they hear the preacher saying when they go to church, when they're at a funeral.
Yeah.
So when you're at a funeral, you're hearing all of these things that are putting these thoughts in your mind that's making you think that death is a secret, or death is sneaky, or death is going to come when you least expect it. When if you had already been prepared, it's never a sneak move. It's never when you least expect it. It's never none of those things. And I think that more so speaks to just things that we prepare for as people. Like what did you value in your house as a kid growing up? What did your parents value? What did you see? What did you like me? What in my family? No one in my family died like my whole life. Like my uncle probably died when I was like 15 or something, and my grandfather passed away back then. But nobody died. Like all of my life, nobody died. Aunties, everybody, grandma, cousins, everybody is just here. And maybe about 22 months ago, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, my grandmother passed. Then after my grandmother passed, my auntie passed first. Then my grandmother. Then 3 of my little brothers. And through that process and trying to and watching family members figure out how to do burials and how they gonna do this and how they gonna do that and who get this and who get that, and it's crazy, because back to what you were saying, like when you born, you're here, but no one ever prepares for when you leave, because in that dash, in that dash, it don't got no instructions. Yeah. They never put no instructions. When you look at an obituary, there's no no list of things you should do in that dash. And I think if they start including things that the person did or didn't do in that dash, like it say was born here, and then they show you a timeline with with little pictures. He did this. He fucked up here. He did this. He did this good. He did this bad. He did it and show the timeline. Then we would have more of an understanding of this life. But I don't think we really understand the life because we so busy living our life that when we get the phone call, so and so died.
Yeah.
It's just a phone call that so and so died. Okay, when is the awake?
Yeah.
When is the funeral?
That's why things really got to be put in perspective. One word you were saying was time, and some people don't put time in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And the best person that said it was, the best question that was asked to one of the greatest was a white kid about 10, 13 years old said, "Hey champ, what are you gonna do now that you're an old man and you retired?" And he was like 40 years old. He said, "For starters, I'm gonna have to sleep about 8 hours a day." He just pretty much put time into perspective to where he said, "I'm gonna be sleeping for 10 years of my life. And then there's another time in my life where I have to eat. So after I add this up, that time's gone. And then after that, I'm gonna have to bathe, probably still have to work." He said, "I'm 40 years old." He said, "I probably won't live another 20 years just from handling those things." So the goal in life isn't always your present. It's what you can do in the present to make somebody else have that present. You know what I mean? You don't live for, when you get older, you're not living for yourself. You're living for others.
That's
So
a good statement you said.
Yeah.
Just piggybacking off you said, that man you was talking about, Muhammad Ali, said, your ticket to paradise is your service to mankind.
To mankind.
I mean, once you've made it up in your mind, even when I ask people about dancing or music, I ask people, I say, why do you want to do, why do you want to dance? I just want to, it just makes me feel good. That's fine. But why? Because you can do a lot of things that make you feel good. You know what I say? Or why do you make music? I make music because, I make music because I can do it. And I have something to say. I just put a single out. I dropped a single, the video, Peace of Mind. It came out in August. I shot the video, everything. Taught myself how to tap dance. Made up a new style of dance, soul tap. And did the video. Video was dope, Peace of Mind. Dope song, everything. I didn't do it because I wanted to get 1 million views. I just did it because it was something I wanted to do. Like, the music has always been something that I know I can do it, so I do it. I don't do it with the intention of, I hope I get 1 million views, and I never did it. And all my music is dope. I love people love my music. But people say, you need to be out there more. People need to, I'm not really, yeah, if it does, it does. You know what I mean? It's like I just skip a rock. It's like, how many can I skip? I don't really put too much. Once I do it, like if I think of a song, I want to do a song, and I do the song, and I do the video, and I put it out. Once it's out, it's out. I move on to something else now. Because I just want to keep on creating. And I think, to me, that's what life is. Like, life is like constantly, like in the Quran, Allah says in the Quran, he says, use your talent as a benefit for mankind. Right? Use your talent. Now,
you gotta find it.
You didn't say when you're gonna find it.
That's what you was talking about earlier, though.
You gotta find where you fit in, and that's a lifetime journey.
Yeah.
Some people get like me. I didn't know I was gonna be a dancer. I did. It's what I did. I made it make a living. I could eat from it. Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna do that though, but I just did it. I kept on doing it.
Same way here with the farm.
With the farm, you didn't know you was gonna do that. Yeah. When I first met you, you weren't talking about no farm.
No, I was just looking to buy some booty.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So these things are just things that just said, he wasn't a Rasta man when I met him. I wasn't the most practicing Islam when he met me. These are things that you just grow into. We're all growing into something.
What do you think? That's a good transition. What do you think is next? Where do you think? Okay, look, this is a good time to turn the corner. Let's turn the corner in this conversation. Okay, if you got people that's fans of hip hop all over the world. If you have a culture that's enlightened the whole world, the number one genre in the world right now is hip hop.
It's been hip hop for a while.
And you got all of these artists who are performing, dropping music. I want you to speak to why I always bring you to my conferences.
Well, I think you bring me to the conferences to just pass a little knowledge.
Yeah, but about this.
Yeah, a little knowledge on doing the merch
and branding
and
like that's like, to me, that's your
my calling, huh?
No, because that's what we was talking about.
Yeah,
that's what the conversation was calling.
Well, the branding, it's a thing of overstanding. Like, if you can cook top ramen, that don't mean you a cook. With branding, that don't mean you take your logo and you just stamp it on everything you see. Branding is more like a saying. Like with Nike, their saying is what?
Just do it.
That's the brand. If I sell steaks, I want to try to make the steak sizzle as I'm selling it to you without you even smelling it. So that's what branding is. And when you're in the music game, like I always say at your conferences, I could buy your CD. I could even buy one for my son. But after that, what else do you have that that's going to take care of my little tweak? You know, do you have a keychain, a sticker, a poster? When I was coming up, one of the most famous pieces in hip hop was that Def Jam jacket. If you had the Def Jam jacket, you know,
The Technique 1200.
yeah, that 1200 on that jacket, you had it. And then you have like the Run DMC with the Adidas deal, all the way up until now where you see Sean John and all these other guys. But after I buy their album, now I could buy the Ciroc or the sneaker or the jewelry, or if I was Rick Ross and I ate chicken, I can go over to the hot wing spot or wherever he has the chicken. But that's where he's making his money at. If you just got a We Are the World, I'm just saying, if you just had a hit, so many hands would be in that hit.
But do you necessarily have to have a hit? Man, that's why I want to bring bruh back into this conversation.
You don't have to have a hit.
He's traveling around the world.
Yeah.
And he's seeing the influence
Yeah.
that's around the world.
You don't have to have the hit, but you do have to be influential.
But do you? What you need is a product.
Yeah, well, if
you know what I mean?
Product,
like let's just say, bro, if he touches, he's going to be leaving here soon, and he's going to Dubai, and he's going, he's going on his journey.
Yeah.
So when he leaves, if I send him with 100 shirts to give away, here, just give these away for me. And when you get on your journey to where you're going,
yeah,
because you got about a 16-hour flight, you got to so-and-so wait in the airport. Once you get there, you got to go through customs, and you got to, so here, give these 100 shirts away in transit. And then when you get there, call me, and I'm going to send you another 100 shirts every country you go to. And just give them away. And I put my saying on there. Let's just say my saying is thumbs up. You don't think by the time I see him again, them thumbs up shirts not gonna be going crazy?
Yeah.
Now I can use that influence and see, I use that to speak on that, and I want to tie it all in because you're one of the most valuable people to so many people here in Phoenix. Here in Phoenix, if Humble was started in your garage, this line was started in your garage, this, all of these brands, all of these different ideas we think them, you create them. But now this brother, just in conversation, and every time I see him, and then I won't see him again for 2 years, then I won't see him again for 4 years, and then and he like, yeah, I've been in boom, 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 boom. So now I'm thinking like, okay, hip hop. Now we need, so all of these artists who watching this show, who watching these different clips, I think they need to be trying to figure out how to connect with a product.
Yeah.
And get this product out there.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like,
what one of those youngsters, he passed out too long ago, that youngster, Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
He, his merch
was worth more than him.
And the music was free. Because that's just the side of the game it is right now. You know what I mean? This is like some extra innings. And if you're up in age, like us, you got to stay involved with the punches. You know what I mean? They don't fight like this no more. You know what I mean?
Well, I used to go. I have a whole t-shirt line. You know, I've been doing. He's been sending me t-shirts on tour many times. Mm-hmm. And the thing about you can move merch, but it depends on who's doing it. Like, people know who I am.
So it goes back to what he was saying already about being an influencer.
Right. If you people know who you are, you can do whatever you want to do. You know? And it's easy to move. It's easy to move merchandise. If you're there in the country, that's why you got to go there. You got to go and get your feet wet. You know, artists go. I'm from the old school of touring. Like back in the day, we would tour. We would always tour. Album come out. Video come out, tour. That was automatic. And that's what I'm used to that. I'm used to that lifestyle of touring and going and selling merchandise, and I've done it 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? I think as far as merchandise though, I think it's like it's something new. Like me, even me, I don't do t-shirts no more. Like, I don't really, I think it's something new coming. You know what I mean? I think it's that's cool to do. Especially if you're going on tour, you have t-shirts, you have merchandise, that's cool to do. But I think it's like a new stage now. I think when it comes to it, it's like how no more, you can't sell CDs no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't really sell a CD no more, right? You can. People still have CDs in their car, all right? You can still sell a CD. But it hasn't, you know, then you got the flash drives now. So everybody, you can use a flash drive. But if you notice between the CD now and the flash drive or the Bluetooth streaming or all that series on it, there's a gap. There's a gap. Yeah. Because people want to buy merchandise. They want to buy it. So like when I tour Japan, they love to buy it. They'll buy all my shirts. Yeah. Every one of them. They'll buy every CD.
But 90% of the merchandise now is invisible.
Right. So it's at a crossroads now because you have this empty gap. You understand what I'm trying to say? And no one's came in, like, for instance, even though we came from back in the day with wax. We used to look at the album covers, for hours, look at Earth, Wind & Fire, all the album covers, right? Then I went to, then you had to go to tape. Then we had the high eights. Remember the high eights? Not the high eights. Remember the MP3 players, that kind of thing. Okay. Then it went to, say iPad, the iPod. You know what I mean? So we lost that merchandise feel. Yeah. From the record to the CD. The CD's the last one. We don't have no more now there's no more CDs like no more. So now it's like
intangible.
Right, it's intangible. So we're in this like I said the next time I do a tour, I'm gonna I'm gonna do like flash drive.
You have to sell NFTs now.
I'll sell flash. And even that, if you want to sell NFT, I mean, but it's still like I can't set up an NFT booth. You know what I'm saying? I can't set up a table.
Yes, you can.
You can, but it's not.
Like two different type of consumers. You got a consumer that has to have the hard product.
Right.
And then you have the fool like me on the other end. I could tell you I got 30,000 songs, and you
Right,
gotta say,
right.
where's the room with the album?
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, it's
Right.
on this drive, right?
Right.
You know?
But see, most people, especially foreigners,
They want something to
they
touch.
want the tangibles
Yeah.
because they're never gonna see you again, maybe.
Yeah.
So that shirt they bought, that means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And you taking a picture with it with them on, that means a lot to them. And that's why it still works there, and it'll still work certain places. But there's still like right now, just like this empty.
You got to figure out what the next thing is.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It needs to be something that's more tangible, that's connected to. And I think the whole thing has changed because even with the COVID coming in, that changed the whole parameter. Because though it made the playing field even, it at the same way it cluttered it. You know, if you open up 8 dams at one time, all the water's gonna rush in. And you know what I mean? And that's what they kind of did. They made the playing field even, which is good. It's a good thing. Because I remember when it was totally uneven for years. So it's even now, so you have all these artists with the Spotify's and all these many artists get a chance to get heard. Alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful thing. Because they would have never even looked at
But
it.
that's a great analogy. But
I'm
these
good.
dams is open. And
Well,
now-
all the dams. So then at the same, when you open the dam, you get everything.
Yeah.
Everything comes through. Dead bodies, bullshit, they stink. Everything goes good. You get the whole bit at one time. So now you got to decipher it. You got to go through it now.
Yeah.
You have to go through a sewage plant and get the real from the fake.
Filtration.
So that
They
feels
gotta get refined.
right.
Yeah.
So that's the part that's the where the problem comes in.
Well, that's what I've monetized. I figured out how to sell the refining process. So I focus more on consultation and taking the artist, catching the artist that's coming through the dam and refining the ones that get caught in my net and then take them to help facilitate a situation. You know what I mean?
I mean that's a good. It's a good. I mean,
it's just kind of like I like to put it like this: one man's dream has now became another man's job. Where your dream at once, there was a time when your dream was just your dream. Just go figure it out. That's your dream. Well, now people have seen people become millionaires off of dreams. So now your dream has now became my job. I could sell you your dream. Where that used to be a negative connotation. Like if I said, see you just selling a dream. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, now I can really sell you your dream.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a whole
And it
nother.
manifests.
Yeah, that's a whole nother vibe.
But I just think,
Tomato.
even when it, I mean, like, look, I mean, you want to be in the entertainment business. I mean, how many people do we know are totally fucked up from the entertainment business? How many people got killed from the entertainment business? How many got killed that's rapping? How many got killed that's it? So, to me, there's no like glitter in it. There's no glitter. Now, if you have a talent, if you're like a real good producer, writer, you know, rapper, dancer, if you have real talent, then you should do your talent.
Well, no, you just said that the dam was broken.
No, it's broken. That's what I'm saying.
So now
You
that
should
the
do your
dam
talent.
is broken, everybody coming through. The
And there's
talent,
a lot of people that don't have
the
no talent.
talent.
And then and that gets and unfortunately the ones with no talent are the ones you hear about.
Right.
Those aren't the ones that. So it becomes for the people that have talent. Like speaking specifically for myself, I don't care about the glitter and the shine of Hollywood. I never cared about it. All that shit is Shaitan's homework.
You know, I feel you. But there's someone out there.
That does.
But no, not just that does. There's someone right now, right this moment, right now as we're sitting in here. There's about 2 or 3 U-Hauls headed to Atlanta. There's 2 or 3 U-Hauls headed to Hollywood.
Right.
It's some people at airports waiting in line who
Right.
got their whole life in a backpack.
Right.
They going to go be famous. Grandma died. I sold the family house.
Yeah.
I got all of the money in my pocket. I'm finna go get on. And that's the new reality. And I think that's what, like, I noticed this when I first got in a good situation and I moved to Atlanta. I realized that everything that I was trying to do, there was somebody to sell me that. If I needed my record worked in the club, there was somebody that's their job. Yeah. If I need my video put on MTV, there's somebody that's their job. If I need, so I think the wave is just moving to a whole different...
Something he has said. We're from LA. I'm 52. So I'm from LA. Born and raised. And we done seen a lot of people come up. Mm-hmm. I went to LA High School. And I done seen many, many people, actors, all got dancers, all people come up. Mm-hmm. Or got a name, got some kind of name or some kind of value. If you live in Wyoming or Montana or Minnesota, pack your bag and go to LA. You're not from there. So any taste of whatever you get is gonna be like, wow. But when you're from there, and I made it. We helped make it. It was like we're just born there. We helped Soul Brothers help make hip hop dancing for the whole world. Def Jeff, that whole era in the 90s, all the rappers coming from the West Coast. So for me, it's kind of like, all right, you want to be famous. When I was 19 years old, I danced. I was on Soul Train already. Rosie Perez was my girlfriend. I mean, you want to be famous? What do you want? I mean, to me, I kind of look at it like that, because to me, there's nothing there.
Yeah, but it's different now.
I understand what you're saying.
Like, now it's a totally different vibe, because now I can take my phone. And I can just talk to people every day. And hit publish. Boom. And now I can back when I used to be rapping, performing, dancing, doing all of what I was doing, I could only get them endorphins at the talent show. Yeah. I could only get that feeling when it was a concert, when I was on tour, now I can get that every morning. Yeah. When I wake up some days, I get dressed and I be trying to get out the house and my wife be like, hold on, what are you doing? Why are you moving so fast? Because I'm trying to go live. I don't want to be late. Yeah. Because of that feeling that I'm going to get. And that could be ego, that could be all of these different things. But it has been monetized. So now, me being high off of myself is what pays my light bill.
Nobody else gonna do it?
Yeah, but it's different now because I don't have to wait till the talent show and win it in order to pay my light bill.
Yeah.
Now I could just go live.
Yeah.
It's more, what I said, I have a show that I did, I zoomed it live from Giza, right in front of the pyramids. Now, of course, you can do anything. You can go to any country you want, do a live show, and stream it live and charge whatever you want to charge.
Man, kill it. We got some technology.
It's easy to do that because I've been through all kind of different stages. You know what I mean? And I still recreate myself. That because
I think Christians call that being born again.
Born again. And not because I have to be. It's because. And not because I'm trying to make up something, it's because every day I'm creating something.
No, you're just living.
I'm just living. I'm going back to living.
Yeah, and you're having so many experiences, and being a God, it's coming out of you. It's going to
It just makes it easy.
Yeah.
And Allah says in the Quran, for those who put Him first, this life becomes easy. Like easy is not easy where you have a whole bunch of money in your pocket. It's not easy.
Right.
Easy is you're free to think. You're a free thinker.
Right.
And you have ease in front of you, meaning you're not worried. Somebody told me the other day, if I have a whole bunch of money, man, to me, I said, look, if you have money, you have the concept of money wrong. Because money is put here as a way to make your physical life easier.
Right.
In this world. You know, if you need to buy some food or buy something, you can go buy what you need. There's other people in other countries that have no money and they're so happy. Their life is so blessed.
But you know why their life is blessed and they're so happy? Because they ain't never had no money.
Well, no, because the system is not set up.
No, but that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah, right.
Like, see here.
Right.
Like when I was a kid, all I needed was $1.
Yeah, good.
I'm going
Right.
to the ice cream truck. I got $1.
Right. Right.
Then when I got into high school, I need, Mom, let me get a 20. Let me get 10.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Let me get a,
Right.
Right. Then when I got into college, I was like, you only sending 50?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? I need 100 or
Right,
two.
right.
Like,
Right.
then as I started now, today, my kids probably spend about, let's say I got about 4 of them that's on the video game real heavy. So these 4 play against each other. They live in different houses, but now, see, this was dope. That's what's dope about today. When I was a kid, I never got to see my brothers and sisters that didn't live in my house till my daddy brought them over or whatever. Well, now these kids can literally see and talk and play video games with each other all day, every day online. So I might buy one of them something online, and then they tell them, Daddy just bought me this. So now my phone ringing, the other 3 want it too. But that being said, I was just speaking on that because these kids, from like when I was little, my mom was like, don't touch nothing. I ain't got no money. Don't touch nothing. We ain't got it. To where now my kids spend about $120 to $200 a week on invisible computer shit. And they still want to go to McDonald's and eat and this and that. They still want their phone bill. The girls still want to get their nails done. Yeah. They still want to get their hair done. So I think it's just a different vibe. Like over the time, and then like I was telling one of my little buddies the other day, when I was a kid, one of my friends had a 25, and that was the only time first time I saw a gun. It was like a 25. And we would go to the club or go out, and we just had him and his 25. Well, as I got older, we started having a lot of guns. Now these kids they got guns with clips that's like this long hanging out they skinny jeans. You know what I mean? And then so I told one of the little youngsters that was in here, I said, when you become a grandpa, your kids gonna be zapping people. They gonna be hitting them with lasers.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well,
But
I think we gotta always remember, as everything is progressing and everything is going, there's certain things you gotta hold on to, like certain morals, certain ethics you gotta hold on to, and you gotta hold on to purpose. And everybody has a purpose.
No, that's a good word.
Everybody has a purpose.
Yeah, that's a good word.
But you don't. Like, most people never find their purpose.
Yeah, because it's dope. I'm enjoying this conversation. And we're going to have to end it. Because we done killed our whole interview just having fun. No, for real. But purpose. We're going to leave on purpose. And then I'm going to ask you another question. And we're going to get out of here.
Okay.
But I'm glad that you brought up purpose. Because a lot of things that I do is like unity with purpose. Studio with a purpose. And I try to push that in my kids' head. Like, don't just do it, but have a purpose in why you're doing it. And I think if more people had a purpose as to why they did whatever they did. Like I was listening to Les Brown the other morning. And Les Brown was talking about commitment and having a what do you call it when you have a group of people and they do a, what did he call it? What's the word? Like you have like a, I don't know, but he used a word that meant like you have like if you're a member of a secret society or a member, like you having just a total dedication to whatever it is that you're doing.
Wow.
But damn, I forget the word he used. The word was dope, but
Conglomerate?
no, it's gonna hit me when this is over with. But just speaking on commitment is something that you willing to make a commitment to. You know what I'm saying? Or and he was speaking of like honoring your commitments every day.
Yeah.
Like small though, like the conversation we was having the other day when we was talking about if you stand up and drop your lighter, pick it up.
Yeah.
Don't go do whatever you doing and in your mind be like, didn't I drop that lighter right here?
Yeah.
I know I dropped it here when you should have just picked it up. But when you commit to things and you stay committed to things, you will discover your purpose. And I think a lot of people don't never discover their true purpose because they never really been committed to anything.
Well, commitment takes discipline.
And yeah, but it does take discipline. But to add to it is taught. And if I've never seen my mom be committed to anything, or my dad be committed to anything, it's going to be hard. So, and I think that that's one of the main things that I try to teach the artists who come here. Even my videographers and the different people I work with, I try to tell them, like, give me a time and let's commit to that time. Because I work so freely and I have so many businesses and so much going on that if I don't make a commitment, I'm not going to do it. And I hate having them loose conversations where it's like, oh yeah, well we could hook up, hit me this weekend, and da-da-da. And then this weekend come and I'm not gonna hit you, and you're not gonna hit me. Then we don't do it. Then we see each other a couple months later. Oh man, what? You don't fuck with me? You don't fuck with me? Well, why we don't? Cause we never made a commitment. Whenever we make a commitment, then we can kind of decide who's part.
If somebody wants to do something, they do it.
Yeah, of course.
If somebody wants to make a song, they're gonna call you. There's this guy, he's a good friend of mine. He's a millionaire, and he rolls with Russell Simmons all them. And I wanted him. I don't care if he's a millionaire. I don't care about no money, but I wanted him to do something for me. And I would call him every day. I was calling him every day, and I was like for like a week or two. I was calling him every day. He finally called me back, and I was like, bro, I'm sorry if I was calling you every day, man, but I really wanted to do this. He said, look, when somebody calls me and they call me every day like that, I know they want, it's real. Whatever they want, it's serious. If you just called me once or twice and you didn't call me back, I would have looked at it like you don't really want that. Mm-hmm. So it's that being persistent, consistent, purpose, knowing why are you being consistent? Why are you being persistent? When I was in Egypt and the pandemic came, this was in January of 2020, and I'm in Egypt. And 2020, I was supposed to do my show. I had to cancel my show. March came, closed it, shut the airport. I was like, man, I'm here. What's going on? I learned about. I was just in China. I was talking about COVID in China. It was out kicking up. I said, man, I'm here. By myself in Egypt, only know one or two people, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this time to get closer to Allah and to get closer to myself, and I did exactly that. And I do 5 prayers a day. Every time I did prayer, I did 50 push-ups after every prayer. That's 250 push-ups a day. I dedicated myself to everything, and all I did was just grow and grow and grow. So that's why I tell the young people, because like I said, we grew up in a different era. I understand that. We grew up in a different era. Our era was different. Our parents' era was different. But I'm taking things from my era with me.
No, we need it.
Yeah. But I was like, man, but I know I could create something else different with it. So when I went to Egypt, the lady who flew me to Egypt, she was like, she's a tap dancer. Her daddy taught her. She's Egyptian. Tap dancing ain't from Egypt, it's from America. I said, how you know how to tap? Oh, my daddy taught me, he learned from his American brother. Yeah, he told me the whole story. So I said, you know what? Teach me how to make this sound. Just how to make that sound. But I wasn't gonna buy that, them corny ass tap shoes. I ain't gonna wear those corny ass. So I had some Air Maxes. I said, put some taps on these, right? So tap these Air Maxes. I dance in Air Max. So I just tap these. So she tapped my Air Maxes. She was like, I never seen that. I was like, yeah, just. So she taught me how to make the sound. Just how to do I want to know how to do the sound correctly. Not how to. I don't want you to teach me none of your style. Just teach me how to make the sound. So she taught me. You just do this exercise. That, right? I said, okay, cool. Like 10 minutes. She told me like 2 things in like 10 minutes. So I went back to Malaysia. And I was like, man, I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna master this. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna look at it like I'm a professional hip hop. I'm a professional dancer. I done toured with all kind of dance companies. I was like, man, I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna teach myself this style. So my hotel was in like a real store district. Like if you stayed on Melrose. It's a real store district. And I was like in all these stores, and every store had like a marble, real dope floor, right? So I would get up like at 12 o'clock at night. I would get up and I would look for the best floor. And I would just be, and there would be people out eating and stuff like that. And I would go by myself and I would start practicing, right? Have a couple of J's rolled. I would start practicing like 12. And you know, my legs was real humid.
Oh, humid.
So yeah, I'd be sweating, like dripping sweat. Like I practiced for 2 or 3 hours every night. But I would always every time I went out there, I got better. And I would start like flipping it. Like I would go teach hip hop class, and I would take my shoes with me. And I would just practice. And I was like getting better. Like I was like, oh, I can do this. And I just got better and better and better. And 6 months, I just dedicated myself to it. And then my skills is like damn near the same as regular dancing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dedication, keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Learn another style. Put that style with this. Now I got soul tap. Learn, create another style, create another this. I just keep on. If you're evolving, you're evolving.
Yeah.
It's like that virus, Brody. Now you got the Omicron, right? And in the next 2 months, it's going to be something else. Yeah. Because why? The virus is what? It's mutating.
And
because
it's getting everybody different.
Yeah.
It's everybody different because that's what a virus is. A virus is a host. It needs a host, and it's going to mutate based on the vaccine. If you put something in, then the vaccine is in there to fight that. But then it's going to mutate so it cannot be able to get for the vaccine to work. Right. So that's how. So we're like we need to mutate. We need to continue to evolve. Human beings evolve. You know, I know some people who still is stuck in the 80s and 90s. They still talking about I did this.
Yeah.
That was then. Now you change your jacket to do this.
It's the present.
Yeah.
So they not.
And you don't have to. You don't need a crowd to evolve. You know, as a farmer, you plant the seed, you leave 2 months, and then come back. It's like that. You come 2 months later. Oh my God, it is. You come 2 months. Next, thing you know, it's flourishing.
Yeah.
Because it evolves, and you're not there when it's growing. You're just seeing it grow.
Yeah.
But you're not there to see it grow. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I look at it like if you look at your art like that, if you look at your existence like that, you could do a lot, Brody. For a long time. Until you die. Because you're going to evolve until
you die.
Because
I told him that earlier today. I said, it's fortunate that we at 18, 19, 20 years old, we already knew what we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. At that time, you know what I mean? And it just evolved.
Well, we wanted that. We wanted to have fun and get with the women and and boogie and have a good ass time.
Yeah,
that's what we wanted to do, and we did it.
Yeah,
like we did it to the ninth power.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Before we,
I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing about that.
Before we get out of here, man, tell these people about your business, though. Tell them all about your business. Tell them about. Tell them about the farm just a little bit. I don't want to tell them too much about the farm. I want to talk more about the farm on FREEZTV 420.
Okay.
But breeze on the farm. You can breeze on the farm a little bit, but I want you to mainly focus on your merch business and your business that creates.
Okay. Like I said before, we started in LA, and they had different. They had this culture came through called hip hop. Different elements of hip hop. I started off as a graffiti artist. Writing in my room, wall, whatever, and from there it moved to this. When my mom's pretty much just spray painted all my clothes or whatever. She got me tired of me spray painting and getting in trouble. Mm-hmm. So then I moved to this and took a course in high school and started printing. But as it evolved, these guys kept dancing, but all the T-shirts and stuff that was coming out for hip hop. He was with a label called Delicious Vinyl. So they have their CDs or their tapes, but then they would have like the Tone Loc, the Def Jeff, Brand New Heavies. They had a bunch of different. It was like the Def Jam of LA at the, or the Def Jam or Def Row of LA at the time. But I started the screen printing business and doing a lot of different work for different artists. Then I started doing it for myself, going to a lot of music festivals, reggae shows, selling shirts for the reggae artists. Then I ended up doing shirts for the festival. And then I stopped being stingy with the craft and start teaching people. You know, so I got a lot of youth that I'm teaching and mentoring, not just on printing the t-shirts, knowing how to do the graphics and everything like that. And then we got a family business, marijuana farm. And, you know, with the marijuana farm, you get the flour and all that. But our main concentration right now are condiments. Not condoms, condiments. Mustard,
Barbecue sauce,
mustard, ketchup, honey, barbecue sauce, peanut butter, anything to infuse your food. And me and my wife were always in the community trying to provide some type of service, either feeding the homeless or having youth over at our house. And my wife plays music. So I'm like that Jamaican in the TV show In Living Color. I got 100 blood clot jobs.
So if people want to find you and they want to get in contact with you to get some merch done or just get some mentorship, just talk to you, how do they reach out?
They can reach out online, Naajee Effects. You can look me, just Google it. My personal number's on there. I teach from old to young, you know what I mean? And what I'm teaching is not only to make $1, but I'm teaching you how to provide a service. You know what I mean? Those are the only jobs that are gonna last, at least in this country. If you can't do nothing for nobody else, ain't nobody gonna want your service.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you help with the music. I got the marijuana thing, but this is my main thing, the graphic design and the t-shirts. I'm like McDonald's, they got over 1 billion sold. I've sold over 1 million t-shirts. Probably 500,000 just with you. And the people you hooked me up with, you know what I mean? But just staying consistent. And I'm on FREEZ. This is my FREEZ. I'm not trying to hop to the drive-through or get carts or anything like that. So I teach this here. And if somebody can show me something else, I'm willing to learn. But I'm also willing to teach this right here. It's always going to be each one teach one.
That's dope. Yeah. Man, I appreciate you for coming out and even bringing the brother Reem through. If people want to reach out to you, brother, and get some mentorship, kind of like take your journey with you around the world on your travels, and just speak on that good manhood, how do they reach out to you?
I'm at www.cmackllc.com. Go to my website. I'm on IG, Kareem Evans, CMack Inc. TV, Blessing Store. 2022, I'm just concentrating right now on my channel, CMack channel, that's gonna come out on Amazon, Roku, and Apple TV around March 1st. So I'm concentrating on that.
Cuddy, tell them you ain't the CMack from 55th Street.
I ain't the CMack from 55th Street. In fact, I'm CMack, a.k.a. Kareem. I don't know who that is, but me and him ain't the same dude. That's for sure. So they can just
from 55th.
Yeah, they can
You
just,
find
yeah.
me. You find me.
That ain't him.
You find me. That ain't him. That ain't two different sides of the spectrum. You find me. But man, we finna get out of here. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Once again, King. Much
Love,
respect.
always.
Much respect,
Love
King.
with capital
Much respect,
letters,
King.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for the time, man. But hey y'all know what it is, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, pass the game. You know, this is just one of many. We're going to invite these brothers back in. It's so many things I want to talk about. It's so many topics I could bring up, and we could just keep going. We could talk for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Like, we do it all the time. But,
love is lovely. Hate is ugly.
man, hey, real hate over fake love. You know what it is, man. Merch available. Tap in, get you some merch. This sweater is available in gray, black, and pink. So if you want to get this one, tap in. If you want to get some of these t-shirts where if you fucking with the just say fuck with the wave or get waved at. You know what I'm saying? We got these in white and black. We got a whole bunch of stuff, man. So just tap in, just follow the wave, man. But y'all know that this series that we doing, like we said earlier, is centered around presence and being present in the present. So like I tell you every day before we get out of here, today will soon be two things. Yesterday and tomorrow. Whatever you do today is what's going to determine your tomorrow. So when you get to tomorrow, you won't still be talking about what you were supposed to did yesterday. You did? Fuck with your boy. It's your man FREEZ. Y'all know what it is, man. We are out of here. Peace.